Good morning, Year 10. It's Sunday night again. I hope you're all sitting comfortably in your proper seats. Your test results, I'll give you those tomorrow, so don't worry about them this morning. Today, we're going to look at a proper sort of B grade, which can be extended to A grade almost topic, and it's all about factorising quadratic expressions. So what's a quadratic expression? Well, we've seen them before. It's these algebraic kind of sentences which have got an x squared in them. And we looked at this a little bit before half term, because what we did is we took two brackets and we expanded them using the old foil or claw or whatever you want to call it, and we got an algebraic expression which looks like this one on the left. Well, factorising means you've got to put this into the brackets, and some of you did this really well at the end of last half term. And the trick is this: we know it's going to go into two brackets, so the first thing I do is I put my two brackets together. And then I think, okay, what have I got to multiply front of both brackets to get an x squared? That's easy. X times x. Okay. The next step is, well, what goes at the end of the bracket to give me 12? Because this number, this bit times this bit, have got to give me 12. Well, I've got lots of options here. I could have 4 and 3, or I could have 12 and 1, or I could have 6 and 2. But the key is, as some of you picked out at the end of last half term, is that the numbers that you use have not only got to multiply to give you 12, they also have to add to give you that number there, the 7. So which of these add to 7? Yep, it's the top where. So if I put a 4 there and a 3 there, and put my pluses in the middle, that is the expression factorised. And if you're still not happy, if you don't believe what you've done, expand it and check. So x times x is x squared, x times 3 is plus 3x, 4 times x is plus 4x, and 4 times 3 is 12. When I simplify that, I get x squared plus 7x plus 12, which is what I started with. And I know I've got the answer correct. Okay, same again with this one. Only this time we've got a minus sign separating the last two numbers. So we're going to be a little bit careful here, but let's see what happens. We know we've got our two brackets, and I know the front two parts have got to multiply to give me x squared, so that's easy. X and x. But now I've got to think about what is going to multiply to give me minus 10 and add to give me 3. So I could have 10 and minus 1. Or I could have 2 and minus 5. Or I could have minus 2 and 5. Or I could have minus 10 and 1. Now which of these is going to multiply to give me minus 10 but also add to give me plus 3? Yep, this one here. Minus 2 plus 5 is plus 3. So if I put my minus 2 in there, plus 5 in there, and again I can check if I've got the right answer. X times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x, minus 2 times x is minus 2x, and minus 2 times 5 is minus 10. Let's simplify that. X squared plus 3x minus 10. Brilliant. Okay, last example before you're going to launch into some of these. Those of you who are listening will have heard my fridge come on in the background, but please ignore that. It's okay. I think it might be defrosting. Anyway, here we go. X squared. So let's get those two brackets in again. The front of my brackets have got to give me the x squared, so that's easy. But the back of my brackets have got to give me plus 8 when they multiply together and minus 6 when they are added together. So let's see, what numbers multiply to give plus 8? Well, 4 and 2, 8 and 1. But I could have minus 4 and minus 2, or minus 8 and minus 1. So which of those add to give me minus 6? Minus 4 and minus 2. So let's put those in. and as before, let's check it. X times x is x squared, x times minus 2 is minus 2x, minus 4 times x is minus 4x, and minus 4 times minus 2 is plus 8. Let's simplify that. X squared minus 6x plus 8. Brilliant, it's what I started with.